Hello, my dear students. I welcome you back again for Business and Accounting Studies. Today we have Unit 10, last chapter, the last primary book that you're going to study in Unit 10. Yeah? General Journal. Right. So to start with, tell me, how many prime books have we studied by now? How many prime books have we studied by now? Except this one. How many? Well, in this lesson, let's start with the first journal that we came across in this lesson. I mean, Unit 10. Yeah? How many prime entry books? First, we took the Purchaser's Journal, that's right, Purchaser's Journal, yeah, Purchaser's Daybook, yeah, Purchaser's Journal or the Purchaser's Daybook. Then we took the Sales Journal, yeah, Sales Daybook, yes. Now we have the General Journal, right? You don't call it General Daybook, no, that's not appropriate, but you call it the General Journal, or in some instances, in some books, it is also called the journal. It is also called the journal. You can call the general journal or you can call the journal, but in your syllabus, children, in national O-level syllabus, you must use this name, the General Journal. Okay, right. Let's look at what the General Journal is. In the above sections, we discussed how to record day-to-day transactions of a business in the Purchase Journal and the Sales Journal. Yeah, that's right. We discussed, didn't we? We did. Yeah. Purchases Journal and the Sales Journal. Yeah. These journals are used to record only one type of transaction. These journals are used to record only one type of transaction. One type of transaction only. These journals, we record only one type of transaction. Yeah. Now I'm going to ask you, what are the types of transactions? What are the types of transactions recorded in these journals? And you're going to tell me. Right, let's see. Let's see whether you can remember, huh? What do you record? What types of transactions? What type of transactions? What type of transactions do you record, or do you write? Do you include in the Purchaser's Journal? Tell me now. Tell me. In the Purchaser's Journal, what type of transactions do you record in the Purchaser's Journal? This one. Yeah. Purchasing of what? Purchasing. Is that what you said? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you said purchasing transactions. Okay. Purchasing of anything in the business, we record in the Purchaser's Journal. Well, that's what you said, right? Yeah, but it's wrong. Not all the purchasings are recorded in the Purchaser's Journal. Not all the purchasings are recorded in the Purchaser's Journal. No. No, not all the purchasing transactions are recorded in the purchases journal. Only credit purchases are recorded, included in the purchases journal. Only credit purchases. Credit purchases of what? Credit purchases of trading goods. Trading goods. Purchasing of trading. Credit purchasing of trading goods. We record in the purchase journal. Now you tell me, what type of transaction do you record in the sales journal? In this one, tell me. In this one, what type of transactions do you record in the sales journal? This one. Tell me. What type of transactions do you record in the sales journal? Selling transactions, selling anything. Yeah, sales journal is for sales. When you sell anything in the business, you record in the sales journal. Yeah, all the sales. Ding, wrong again. Not all the sales are recorded. Not all sales transactions are recorded. No. Only credit sales are recorded. Credit sales of trading goods. Yeah, you remember. Now you remember. Now you remember. Yeah, that's natural, you know. When the teacher tells you the necessary everything, when it is reminded, only you remember. No, my dear students, I know that if you got together, if you were with me in the previous chapters, in the previous videos, if you watched me, you must remember, you must be having these things in your mind. So, not cash purchases, only credit purchases in the purchases journal. No cash sales, only credit sales in the sales journal. All right. So, children, we use a special name for these journals. For purchases journal and sales journal, we use a special name. All right. What is that special name? We call them specialized journals. Specialized journals. Right? I ran out of space here, so I'm gonna rewrite it and move to this side so you can better see what I am writing. We call them specialized journals. Specialized. Okay, not only specialized, you have to write specialized journals. Specialized journals. All right. Why do we call them specialized journals? Why? Because they are specifically used for one type of transaction. One specific type of transaction. One specific type of transactions are used, recorded in those journals. All right, in purchases journal and sales journal. All right, but today we are going to learn something very different. It's not a specialized journal. This is a very general purpose book, that is for general purposes. No specialized, specific transaction for this journal, right? That is why we call it the general journal. General journal, all right? Okay. So these journals are used to record only one type of transactions. Here we are still talking about specialized journals. Okay, only one type of transaction. Type of transaction. Hence, they are known as specialized journals. We are still talking about specialized journals in this para. Okay, specialized journals. You know what specialized journals are, right? These are the specialized journals. Okay. Right, specialized journals. Example, sales journal is used to record only credit sales of trading goods. Only credit sales of trading goods are recorded in the sales journal. Yeah, specific transaction. But let's take what we have at hand today. We have at hand a different prime entry book, that is the general journal. Children, the general journal is considered as the dustbin of bookkeeping. No offense, no disrespect, but it is considered as the garbage bin of the bookkeeping process. You know, among the books, other books, there are many books. This is the garbage bin. Why some people say that? They call it the kitchen sink. They call it the garbage bin. Why disrespectful? Why so disrespectful? Well, there's no disrespect, as I said. No offense, no disrespect. Most of the time, children, these names are used for the general journal because everything that we cannot record in other journals, in other books, all the crap we put in this. All transactions which cannot be recorded in other journals like the purchases journal, sales journal. There is another prime entry book called purchase returns journal, sales returns journal. We don't get these in your syllabus, not in your O-level days. But there are many other books. No, any other type of transaction is not entered in those journals other than the specific transaction which must be recorded in those journals. No any other transactions are recorded in those journals, in those books. Okay, but in this book you record everything that you cannot put in those other specialized journals. So some people call it the garbage bin of bookkeeping. Well, it suits. I mean, the name suits. It matches. But let's not, disrespect this very useful prime entry book. Yeah, all right. We look at what transactions are recorded in this prime entry book, the general journal. Purchase of a machine on credit basis to be used in the business. Purchase of a machine on credit basis. All right. Purchase of a machine. Why can't we record purchasing of a machine in the cash book? Why? It's your turn now. Tell me why. Why can't we record the purchase of a machine in the cash book? Because the purchase of a machine is done on credit basis. It's done on credit basis. No cash is involved. A machine is purchased. A machine is purchased, right, for the use of the business, for the factory. But money is not paid. No money is paid. Okay, it's a credit purchase. That's why cash is not involved. So it's not recorded in the cash book. Right. That's correct. But if it is a credit purchase, why can't we record it in the purchases journal? That's another question. Now I was saying, okay, right, children, it's a purchase of a machine. Why can't we record this transaction in the cash book? Why? Because there is no cash involved. It is not a cash purchase. Cash is not paid. Yeah, cash is not paid. It's a credit purchase, right? No cash involved. So can't record it in the cash book. If it is a credit purchase, why can't you record it in the purchases journal? That is the question. Second question. If it is a credit purchase, why can't you enter it in the purchases journal? Because purchases journal is for credit purchases, remember? Yeah, just few minutes ago I was again describing the purchases journal and sales journal, and I was stressing on the fact that purchases journal is used to record credit purchases only. Sales journal is used to record credit sale of goods only. Credit selling on credit basis. Goods are sold to the customers, but cash is not taken. If it is a credit purchase, why can't you put it to the purchase journal? Simple question. Simple question. Tell me if you know the answer. Why? Well, if you don't know, I'll tell you what I heard some people saying. I heard it. I heard a slant voice. Here and there, some people were saying. And that's right. Yes, that's right. Children, even though this is a credit purchase, here, this is not purchasing of trading goods. This is a purchase of a machine for the use of the business, not purchasing of trading goods. Only if we purchase trading goods, right, bought to be sold again for reselling. Only those trading goods, if you purchase, those transactions only go to the purchases journal. Those transactions only. Purchasing of trading goods, trading, goods which you buy to resell in the shop. This is not a purchase of trading goods. It is a purchase of a machine, an asset for the use of the business. That's right. That is the difference, children. That is the difference. So, purchasing of non-current assets on credit should be entered in the purchases journal. Should be entered in the purchases journal, right? No, should be entered in the general journal. You pay attention, all right? I do mistakes and I check whether you are giving me the attention, whether you are learning from this. Learn from this, all right? Purchasing of non-current assets on credit basis. Selling of non-current assets on credit basis. That is another transaction. Okay, I'll write it here. Purchase of a machine on credit basis. So this is purchasing of non-current assets. Non-current assets. Yeah, on credit. On credit. Purchasing of non-current assets on credit. Selling of non-current assets on credit. That also, those transactions also entered in the general journal. Selling of non-current assets on credit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase this word and I'm going to enter both, purchasing and selling both. Okay, purchasing, selling. Of non-current assets on credit. Yeah, and we have another transaction here, that is this one, purchasing of a land on credit basis to expand the business activities. That is also purchasing of a non-current asset. You know, lands are non-current assets, right? Of course, we know those things. You know those things. So same transaction given again. Yeah. Purchasing of a land on credit basis. Okay, same thing. Second is that. Third is this. Owner uses goods of the business for his own purpose. Now that is a different transaction, right? These are called goods drawings. Children, these are called goods drawings. Goods drawings. Goods drawings. You record goods drawings in the general journal. Yeah. Why? You know why? If it is a cash drawing, children, you record it in the cash book. But this is a goods drawing, so can't record it in the cash book. Yeah. That is why goods drawings are recorded in the general journal. You can't record it in the cash book. You can't record it in the bank book. If you withdraw cash from the bank for your personal uses, that is a cash drawing too. But you are taking money out of the bank. You are taking money out of the bank, so must be recorded in the bank account, bank book. If you take cash out of the cash till for your personal, affairs, that's not very good. If you take money out of the cash till, cash going out, but for your personal uses, that is also a cash drawing. But money is taken from the cash till now, from the cash register, so it's recorded in the cash book. If you take money out of the bank account, it's recorded in the bank book, bank account, credit. But these are not cash drawings. These are goods drawings. Yeah, these are goods drawings. Can't record in cash book or bank book, so you just put it to the general journal. Yeah. Now you understand why it is called the garbage bin. Makes sense. These transactions should be recorded in a separate prime entry book. The prime entry book used to record these transactions are known as the general journal. All right. Children, we must talk about some other transactions also. There are other transactions too which are recorded in the general journal. Let's see. This is the format. The source document used in recording transactions in the general journal is the journal voucher. Now that is important. In some of the papers, past papers, if you have done your past papers by now, you must have come across this question in the MCQ paper, first paper. Some papers, some years, have directly asked this question: what is the source document used in recording transactions in the general journal? Source document, the bill, like vouchers and invoices and receipts and vouchers. What is the bill or the source document relevant for general journal? Journal voucher. Okay. Remember, and the general journal is prepared in this manner. This is the way you prepare the general journal. This is the format, children. Okay. This is the format. It's easy if you remember it this way. You remember it this way. Draw the table first. Draw the table first. It's not the format of a T or any other ledger. It is a table. Okay. Date column first, voucher number. Okay. So little things, small things. My method. You remember my method, right? When we draw accounts also, we use this method. Little things lead to big things. But value columns, there are two. So you divide the value column into two. Just to remember, date, voucher number, description. Date column is a narrow, little column, just for your remembrance. for your convenience, I'm giving you this method. Date column is a little column. Voucher number is a little column. All right. So little things lead to big things. Big column is for description. Another big column is drawn for amounts, values, but that value column is divided into two likewise. Okay. This ledger page column is not usually often used. It's not used, right? But you should draw the ledger page column. Even though you don't draw the ledger page column, it doesn't matter because it's not used in your syllabus, in your O-level days. The use of ledger page column is not specifically taught to you. Okay, that's why I just cut it off, but draw it in the format. That is the format. Well, there's nothing much. Date column. This date column, voucher number, journal voucher. Okay, journal voucher. The source document. There's a number in the source document now. So this column is for that number. Source document number, the source document is voucher, journal voucher. Date column, journal voucher, description column, and amount or the value column divided into two. Okay. Those value columns divided into two must be named as debit and credit. As debit and credit. You'll learn why the value columns are named as debit and credit. Okay. Right. So this is the format, children. Let's record a transaction, shall we? Just to make you familiar. Just to familiarize you. This journal, the general journal, I told you that it is not a specialized journal. No, it is a general purpose journal, so that is why it is called the general journal. But children, there is something special regarding this. Every time you record a transaction in this, you must write a description. It's called the narration, right? So that is called the narration. Let's take a transaction and let's record in the general journal, and when we write the narration about it, you will understand what is this narration and what is it about. Okay. Example, we have an example transaction here. All right, now tell me, what type of transactions do we enter in the general journal? What type of transactions do we enter in the general journal? Tell me. Someone of you. Now, just few minutes ago, we discussed about the types of transactions entered in the general journal. Purchasing of non-current assets on credit. On credit, okay? Not for cash. Purchasing of non-current assets on credit. Non-current assets, okay? Selling of non-current assets, that's right. Good. Selling of non-current assets on credit. And goods drawings, that's right. Good. Goods drawings of the owner. Goods drawings are not good, okay? No. Drawings. it reduces capital. But most of the time, these owners of mostly sole traders, owners of these businesses, they just go to their shops and take cash out of the cash till and put the cash in their pockets for their use. This happens. Drawings, okay? Record it in the general journal. Now, children, we have one example transaction. Purchasing of an equipment on credit for the business use, 10,000 rupees. All right. So it is a purchase. Equipment means it is a non-current asset. No problem about it. No problem about it. Non-current asset. Equipment is a non-current asset. Yeah. And it is done on credit. It is done on credit. Purchased on credit. All right. For the use of the business. For the business use, not for reselling, okay? 10,000, that is the value. From Silva and Company Private Limited. Who is the supplier? Who has supplied the equipments to us? Silva and Company Private Limited. It's a company. Yeah, must be a big company. Must be a big company providing equipments for small businesses. It is done, this transaction is done on 28th second, that means February, let's say 2021, okay? 28th February 2021, done. How to record this? Well, it's recorded. There's nothing for us to record, but let's see how it is recorded. First, you take the date, put the date in the date column, 28th February 2021. Okay, date is recorded. If there's a voucher number given, you put the voucher number 007127. If there's a voucher number, record the voucher number. And in the description column, you see what is written in the description column. Do you see this? What is in the description column? And I circled, I squared the amount columns too. Can you see what is recorded and how it is recorded? Children, it's a double entry. It's a double entry. Can you see this? It's a double entry. This is the debit entry. This is the debit entry. And this is the credit entry. It's a double entry. Right, let's get this figured out, My dear students, can you remember when we discussed about the purchases journal here? Not in this session. Few sessions back, when we took the purchases journal, I told you that it is a prime entry book, correct? It is the first book or the first place in which the transactions are recorded. What transactions? Purchasing goods on credit. Those transactions are recorded in the purchase journal for the first time. Okay. And from the purchases journal, all the entries, all the credit purchases are taken and recorded in the ledger, relevant ledger accounts. Do you remember? We did this, okay? We have done this. Same with the sales journal too. All the credit sales are recorded in the sales journal. All the credit sales for the month. Selling goods on credit. All those transactions are recorded in the sales journal. Collected and recorded in the sales journal. And at the end of the month, from the sales journal, take each and every transaction or each and every entry and post them to the relevant ledger accounts. We did this. Got it? Well, you must remember these things, okay? At the end of the month, or it could be at the end of a week, the period of ledger transfer, I mean, what I mean is the period that you spend to total or sum up the prime books and to transfer those entries or post them to the ledger. That period differs from business to business, okay? It could be one business could sum up the prime entry books in 1 week, in a period of 1 week. Another business could sum up the prime entry books in a period of 1 month, okay? Like after 4 weeks. 4 weeks in a period of 1 month. It depends on businesses, okay? Anyhow, at the end of a period, be it a week, be it a month, it doesn't matter. At the end of the month, you must transfer the entries to the ledger from the prime books according to the double entry system. Remember, right? Okay. In this book, in the general journal, children, most of the time, the transactions which you cannot record in other prime books, in the purchase journal, in the sales journal, in the purchase returns, sales returns, cash book, petty cash, the ones that you cannot record in those books, these books, you put to this general journal. You put the transactions in their double entry form to the general journal. Then it's done. Then you can record the double entry in the relevant ledgers as it is given in the general journal, the way it is given. See, equipments account debit, this is the debit entry, that is the debit entry. Debit, this is the debit entry. Equipments account debit. Remember to mention the debit, DR, for the debit entry. And beneath or underneath that, the credit entry is given. Silva Company Limited, that is the creditor, this guy, from the company which we bought the equipments, the big private limited company. It's done. See, debit entry and credit entry is recorded as it is the double entry. The double entry as it is. Children, don't forget to mention the debit, DR, for the debit entry, and put the amount to the debit column, right? For the credit entry, you don't mention CR. That is a tradition. For the credit entry, you don't mention CR. Okay, you don't mention CR. But put the amount to the credit column. Same amount should be debited, same amount should be credited. Debit and credit, okay? Right, so that is the recording of double entries in the general journal. This is the credit entry, children. I'll move to this side for better viewing, and this is the credit entry. The credit entry. Debit entry, credit entry. Okay, and the entries, the double entries are recorded in the general journal. That in this way, it is easier for you or for the bookkeepers to transfer the transaction value to the ledger at the end of a period. You know, or the bookkeepers, maybe you are not a bookkeeper, your bookkeepers know that equipment account should be debited with 10,000 and Silva account, De Silva and company, that account should be credited with 10,000. Okay, that's that. Done. Now, what is this? What is this? That is the narration. That is the narration. This is the narration. Okay, narration is somewhere most children get confused. Okay, now children ask me, so what is it about? Why do we write it? What is the importance of it? There's nothing much to say. You just write a brief description about this transaction which you recorded. A brief description. See, recording of equipments bought from Silva and Company on credit. It's nothing much. It's nothing to worry about actually. Just write a brief description about this transaction which you recorded on this date. The transaction is this, the double entry. You write a brief description about it. All right, that is called a narration. It should be within brackets, children. Don't forget, it should be within brackets. The narration should be written within brackets. Don't take like half a CR page to write the narration. Just write the narration in couple of lines and finish it off. Short and sweet. Okay, that's it. This is how you record a transaction in the general journal. Most of the time you record double entries of the transaction. This is the transaction and this is the double entry for it. Okay, I hope it's clear to you. All right, children, it's something a little confusing to think why these transactions must be recorded. These type of transactions must be recorded in prime books such as the general journal. From this area, questions have come in past papers. What is the use of prime books? Why are they used in a business? There have been questions in your past papers. If you have the past paper books, you can check. Given prime entry books, a set of prime entry books in a question, from those given prime entry books, there have been questions like, state the purpose of these prime books for this business, for the business of Saman Mali. State the reasons or importances or the use. That is why you must have a clear idea. Tell me why. Why are these needed? Why can't we record the transaction directly in the ledgers? Directly in ledger accounts, the T accounts as we call them. We call them T accounts. We call them ledger accounts. Why can't we record directly in the ledger accounts? Because it is important to segregate or categorize the same type of transactions in one place or in one book. Okay. Keeping records of the similar type of same type of transactions in the same book is immensely important. Immensely. That is why for credit purchases, we keep a separate book called Purchases Journal. For credit sales, keep a separate book called the Sales Journal. For cash transactions, keep a separate book called Cash Book. For bank transactions, keep a separate book called for bank transactions, Bank Book. Record all the transactions related to those in the relevant books then and there. Then and there. Because when the transactions happen, when the transactions take place, it is not possible, it is not practical to go through the ledger accounts and to trace the ledger account, keep the customer on hold, do a transaction, take out all the books, the ledger books onto your table, and the Mudalali is tracing the ledger and the customer is waiting, and the Mudalali says, මහත්තයා පොඩ්ඩක් ඉන්න වෙනවා මට මේ ලෙජර් වලට දාගන්න කං මේ account එක හොයලා ටක් ගාලා දාලා එන්න අම්මා. It's not practical. It's not practical. It's easier to keep one book and record then and there the same type of transactions in that book. That is the prime purpose of prime entry books. Prime purpose of prime entry books. Okay. All right. So a quick recap of the basic knowledge related to prime entry books. Next, children, we have this section, this area, which we have to cover in unit 10, in this unit. We are going to cover this in another chapter. All right. So very interesting area to cover. It's about technology, it's about phones, online transactions, and the things that you enjoy. I hope to see you soon to end unit 10 in the next chapter. Thank you for being with me. See you soon.